Yeah. If everybody could turn their cell phones off, we appreciate it. What?
Put that
Oh, hush.
feedback.
Okay. Call to order this meeting with the Board of Fremont County Commissioners. Today we have an invocation with Alicia Swearington. Alicia, she's right front center. Awesome. And follow that, invite you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for this county. Lord, you've blessed us so much with just provision, and Lord, we continue to ask your blessing on this county and all who make decisions for it. Lord, we pray for wisdom in all that we do in this county, God. We love you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne,
Present.
Commissioner McFall,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
County Attorney Jackson,
Present.
County Manager Bryant, present, Planning and Zoning Director Koch.
Present.
Move on to the approval of agenda.
Mr. Chair, I am unaware of any changes we need to make to today's agenda. Therefore, I move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to our consent agenda. Does anybody want to speak on any of those
So
issues?
I just want to mention one thing. Number 6 on the consent agenda is the USDA NRCS grant for the Hayden Pass watershed up there where the burn was a couple years ago. We have signed the contract with NRCS Natural Resource Conservation Service. So we right now have a RFP out there for engineer services. So hopefully we can get some work done up there in that stream. As you guys are probably aware, we had some flooding up there a couple weeks ago. So we can get up there and get some of that bank stabilized, which will really help with the flooding. Some of that flooding would have still happened had we have done that work, but at least this will help subside it. So I just wanted to mention that we're underway with that right there. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to administrative and informational. Staff and elected officials report. We'll move to our county manager's report. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I want to start by saying thank you. I've never had so many people show up to hear my report, so I appreciate you all coming out today. So a few items that we have right now. On August 16th, we had a conference call for the EPA project, so that's moving right along. We officially signed the grant agreements in October, and so we're going to be looking at brownfields throughout the community and assessing those properties, so that's going well. On the 16th of August, I attended a manager's luncheon. So Stacy Quiddick Russell, who's also with the county, she's the Department of Human Services Director, she and I are both part of that group, so it's always good to get out with all of the other managers throughout the community and see what's going on. On August 21st, Commissioner Bell and I attended a CPR training, and so we are very excited to be some of the employees in Fremont County that are CPR certified, so we're hopeful. We have a few people that are in the county that actually are qualified to train CPR, so we're hopeful to get those throughout the departments to where if something happens, we're able to respond appropriately. And then on August 21st, there was a small group that had a discussion on the sobering center. So we're looking at the current center and changes that may need to be made moving forward. And we've had a meeting on the Colorado Opportunity Scholarship group, which is a scholarship that the county is a part of. And this year, so most of the funds come from either other organizations. They do a golf tournament, and then the county actually donates $3,000 towards this. But this year we actually gave away $24,250 in scholarships, so we're very proud to have that done. And then on the 23rd, Commissioner Bell, Commissioner McFall, and I attended a Colorado Counties Incorporated Mountain District meeting. So it's always good to see legislation that's coming down and how it will impact our community. And then last, on Saturday night, a few of us attended the Boys and Girls Club Bids and Barbecue event. So that organization does a tremendous job for our community, so it's good to get out and support them as well. And then I'll move into the sales tax report. Okay, so in the month of June, the collections came in at $483,813, which is up from last year. Year to date, we're up $95,973. The auto use tax collections came in at $77,166. Year to date, we're up $49,079. The construction use tax for July came in at $16,667, and year to date we're actually slightly down, but we will be receiving the second quarter remittance from the City of Canyon City, so that will get us caught up there. In the lodging tax in the month of June, it came in at $65,802, so year to date we're up $13,341. And then in the sheriff's 1% sales tax in the month of June, it came in at $322,542. So year to date, we're up $63,982. And July numbers for auto use tax came in at $51,444. So year to date, we're up $32,659. And last, the construction use tax, if it goes here, well. So it actually came in slightly down as well. So year to date, we're down slightly for the auto use tax, or for the construction use tax collections. But overall, everything's looking good. Numbers are coming in good. We are in the budget process now, and so we're looking at forecasting for the next year, and we'll keep moving forward.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good.
Yep.
Any questions for Cindy?
Nope.
Okay. Let's move on to other staff and elected officials. Anybody have anything?
Yes, sir.
You always have something.
I usually do. I just would like to mention, Sunny did say that some of us were up in Poncha Springs last week for the Colorado Counties Incorporated Mountain District meeting. It was a really interesting, kind of a long meeting. So much information thrown at us that day. What I want to let you know is there currently are 6 items that are ballot issues that were put on the November ballot by the state legislature. There are about another 8, I think, that are currently in the process of having petitions circulated and trying to get signatures for those. This November is going to be a very, very important election for everyone. There are a lot of issues that will be on that ballot that could be life changers for many people. I just want you to be aware of that. I want you to be informed when you go to vote this November. So please keep that in mind. An informed population is a great population.
Thank you.
I just have one thing I want to mention. You folks are probably aware that in the past we've had electronics recycling events. We've had one in Florence this year. We just finished one up a couple of weeks. I say we, it's Upper Arkansas Recycling. Beth Lynn's out at the Council of Governments. We just finished one up on the west end, and they collected 60% more electronics than they did last year. I don't remember the number, but that was a lot of electronics. There is one coming up September 22nd in Canyon City. It's going to be on the corner of 9th Street and Royal Gorge Boulevard. That's the Bank of the San Juan's parking lot. It's from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. What that does is allow you to recycle electronics, TVs, computers, small appliances, printers, that type of stuff that you can't throw into landfills at a reduced rate. They do charge so much an inch for televisions and different things like that, but it is subsidized with money from the county, so it does make it cheaper for you to recycle a TV, and I know I've got one to take, so I probably see some of you there. That's all I got.
Okay. I'll just add that after we get done with the first 2 items under new business, I'll allow for a few minutes if people want to clear out, and Jim needs to get back up to the hills, so we'll allow a few minutes to, unless you're just dying to listen to the rest of our meeting, which I'm sure some of you are. Okay, that's anybody else have anything? Okay, we'll go on to citizens who wish to address the commissioners on matters not scheduled on the agenda. I have 2 here. First up, George Story. Hello, George. Good morning.
Good morning, George.
Morning, George.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I've never felt so safe in my life.
Anyway, sometimes it's a little hard to try to comprehend what is going on with the global trade war at this present time. But if you kind of look at it, it makes a little sense. If you look at our stock market, which is up, the Chinese stock market is down, Canada's stock market tends to be down, Mexico's stock market tends to be down. This helps all of us. It helps Brenda Jackson fight this opioid crisis. It helps all of us get money to correct problems, because when you have money, it's easier to correct problems. Thank you for letting me speak, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
Next up, we have Skip Moreau. Good morning, Skip.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. There he goes again on complaint. Well, I do have a complaint. All of you are enjoying your freedom because somebody in the military has lost their life or have fought for our freedom here in the United States. And I fly over the parks, and I'm really disgusted about the War Memorial, the Boston War Memorial by the airport. It's a disgrace. I can go back and remember when they first put it in. We put a water supply system in. It was off of the well system that only gets water when the river ends. And so they tied into the city water, so we have nice green grass out there. And then I guess they put in the intercom system and then tore up the sprinkler system, never been fixed. It seems like the park out there is getting neglected. I see pigeons all over the place, pigeon feces all over the place, weeds growing all over the place. And I understand the airport had some money in their budget that was profit. I'd like to know what's going on with the park, or at least see some improvement, see something done, because it's a disgrace out there. There's weeds growing up all over the place. There is no more grass. I feel, now right next to it, I feel the park is getting neglected. I look at the other parks and they're beautiful. This one is not.
And we can't argue with that. When we had that brick dedication out there, about a month ago, we said the same thing. And so we directed Sonny to, we have a new parks employee, and he just did quit, and so we're hiring a new one. You want to address some more of this?
Well, yeah, so Skip, you and I have talked about this a little bit. We do have had an employee who has turned in his resignation, so we're right now in the process of taking applications for that position. But Eric, our facilities director, has got a crew that's coming out there. They're going to paint the one jet. They're also going to have a lift out there to clean all the bird crap off of the other jets. We're in the process right now working with a landscape company, going to have some landscaping done out there because it is well needed. There's a few other things that they're working on right now, so we ought to see some improvements here real shortly, because we totally agree with you.
Thank you. What would you think if, I remember when the airport manager, Mr. Baker, used to be in charge of that, and it seemed like somebody was there, that you got somebody there 24/7 pumping fuel 8 hours a day, 6 days, 7 days a week. And I noticed they would go up there and do what they had to do. What about thinking about turning it back over to the airport after you get it up to snuff the way it was when it was first built, designed, and let them maintain it?
Well, what we've done with this position, this person that we're about to hire, is a person that is in charge of all 5 parks. And the last person didn't get to all of them like he should have, so we're going to make sure that the next one does. So that shouldn't be an issue from here forward.
Do you think one person can maintain all those parks properly and cut the grass and the weeds, and by the time you start one, you get to the other one, you got to turn around and start back over?
Most of the time, I think they'll be able to handle it. If not, we'll get some
Okay,
help.
well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Skip.
Thanks, Skip.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything for the commissioners? Okay. And the press got that bird crap quote, okay? Okay.
I had to say it that way.
Okay. Okay, there is no old business. We'll move into new business. Item number 1, resolution recognizing Sheriff Jim Biker for his years of service to Fremont County. I believe Commissioner Bell can take it from here.
I seem to be the appointed reader for this board.
Well, you know, we don't, the two rednecks here don't set the bar very high, so.
So I would like to ask Sheriff Biker to please step forward while we read this resolution. I also would like to let you know this resolution is a lengthy one, but if we would have included everything our sheriff has done since he began his time here with Fremont County, we would truly be here all day. So We have a lot to say, and it's all good. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, regretfully accepts the resignation of Mr. James L. Biker, Sheriff of Fremont County. And whereas Jim Biker has been a loyal and valued employee of Fremont County government from July 1st, 1988 through July 29th, 1992, and from December 1st, 1994 through January 13th, 2003, and the elected sheriff from January 14th, 2003 until September 1st, 2018, for a combined total of more than 30 years in law enforcement, earning much respect and admiration for his extraordinary level of dedication and professionalism for the county. And whereas Jim Biker provided Fremont County with his expertise in law enforcement and jail operations and worked diligently to assure seamless administration of the Fremont County Sheriff's Office. And whereas Jim Biker's service not only as a sworn employee, but as an elected official of the Fremont County Sheriff's Office and to the Fremont County citizens was highly professional, competent, ethical, generous, and compassionate, always serving others without regard for himself. And whereas Jim Biker's accomplishments are many and include the following: overseeing the everyday administration and operation of the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, overseeing the ever-changing environment of law enforcement and providing guidance and direction to the employees under his employ, providing capable and competent leadership to the employees and members of the Wildland Fire Team who serve to protect Fremont County citizens from the perils, hardships, and devastation of wildland fires, and assisting those citizens who are impacted by such fires, providing capable and competent leadership to the members of the Incident Management Team and the Search and Rescue Team, coordinating jail capital construction projects, including a 96-bed addition, the renovation of laundry and kitchen areas, addition of state-of-the-art security camera system, and extensive remodeling of areas in the jail. Coordinating with the courts, court-related offices, and sheriff's offices around the state for transportation of detainees and inmates to and from court appearances, and ensuring that such people have access to the courts as guaranteed in our Constitution. Ensuring professional and prompt service of process and access to law enforcement records. Coordinating with law area enforcement agencies and the district attorney to combine law enforcement resources for efficient and cooperative delivery of services to the public. Demonstrating leadership and initiative in the cooperative establishment of the Combined Regional Communications Authority and the construction of the CRCA facility. Professionally and continuously pursuing professional and other necessary services in the county jail, ensuring the detainees and inmates are housed there and held in a facility that ensures constitutional protection of guaranteed rights while protecting the safety and well-being of detention deputies. Professionally and capably handling employment and personnel issues to ensure the safety and security of law enforcement personnel while delivering services to the general public, and dedicating and committing countless hours of service to Fremont County and its citizens, demonstrating integrity, respect, courage, compassion, fairness, and honor in all things and in all situations. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognizes and expresses its deep appreciation and that of the residents of Fremont County to James L. Biker for his decades of devoted service to Fremont County. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to Sheriff Biker's service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to him. Done this 28th day of August, 2018 at Canyon City, Colorado. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve this resolution recognizing Sheriff Jim Biker for his decades of service to Fremont County.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Now photo op.
speak in the mic?
No.
Well, I've given a lot of thought what I might say. There's no way in just this short amount of time I could encapsulate 30 years of law enforcement and 16 as a sheriff. There's so many of you in this room. I need to think. No one person is successful by himself, so any success that I may have had during this time is the result of a lot of people, especially the staff. Thank you for serving so well. Ms. Jackson, for such great counsel over the years, become a very trusted friend. I'm glad I won't be in your office giving advice anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
So many, different boards of commissioners that I was able to work with, and I can truly say that they did support the sheriff's office, even beginning with that first board with Jim Shower, Keith McNew, they're watching, Larry Lasha, they're out there somewhere. Everyone. I don't know what else I can say. Thank you seems so inadequate. And there's so many of you here. Thank you for coming. I don't know if you're actually here for me or Ty, though. Probably both. I hope so. I will say that when I get back to the hills here this afternoon, I will be a lot more relaxed knowing that I have such a trusted, valued friend and colleague that will bring this term to an end. So Ty, thank you for doing that, stepping up. Megan for stepping up in difficult times and helping me out. There's so many of you, I could go on and on. And so Kim and I aren't going very far. And so I'm sure you'll see us around and hopefully a lot more relaxed. Thank you so much.
I told Jim many, many years ago during his first run for sheriff, he was the first candidate I ever gave $100 to for his candidacy. And I became a biker backer at that time. Thank you, Jim. Okay, we'll move on to item number 2, resolution appointing a Fremont County Sheriff. If we could have Ty Martin please come up. 30. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'll read this resolution. I get to read this one.
Watch this.
It's short. It's short.
It's short. Yeah. Resolution number 30, a series of 2018, resolution appointing the Fremont County Sheriff for completion of an unexpired term of office. Whereas the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is authorized by CRS 3011-117 and 30-10-904 to fill, by appointment, a vacancy occurring in any county office, including the office of County Sheriff. And whereas on January 13th, 2015, James L. Biker took the oath of office for the elected position of Fremont County Sheriff for a 4-year term of office ending January 8th, 2019, Elvis's birthday. And whereas Sheriff James L. Biker has tendered to the Board of County Commissioners his notice of intention to resign from office before the expiration of the term with an effective date of August 28th, 2018. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners has solicited letters of interest from any person desired to serve as the Fremont County Sheriff from August 28, 2018 to January 8, 2019, when the person duly elected for the office of Sheriff in the November 8, 2018 election will assume the office to serve a 4-year term. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has interviewed several interested persons and is prepared to make a formal appointment to fill the vacancy of the office of Sheriff for Fremont County. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners for the County of Fremont, the Board of County Commissioners hereby acknowledges and confirms the resignation of Sheriff James L. Biker, Fremont County Sheriff, effective immediately. Item number 2, the Board of County Commissioners hereby appoints Ty P. Martin to the office of Sheriff for Fremont County, who shall serve the remainder of the term of office expiring on January 8th, 2019, and serve until the sheriff-elect qualifies to assume the office in accordance with the law. Okay?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 30, which appoints Ty P. Martin, Sheriff.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I'll just add that we did have a lot of good applicants for this vacant sheriff position. It took 2 days of us deliberating on the applicants were that good. We ultimately chose the retired Under Sheriff Ty Martin, largely based on our prior working relationship with him and his outstanding work ethic. We believe Mr. Martin will be a true asset for the upcoming transition to the new sheriff-elect later this year. He understands the current budget, the budget process, and we are confident he will work well with County Manager Sonny Bryant on the 2019 budget. So that's some of the stuff that we came up with there.
Mr. Chair, I would also like to make a note. Many people may be aware, because of self-recognition, that a couple of our current candidates for sheriff that will be on the November ballot also applied for this job. We believe they were wholeheartedly prepared for the position. They had the experience that we needed, but ultimately we had the decision to not interview those folks simply because we want the people to decide in November who our new sheriff is going to be. We did not want to be seen in any way, shape, or form as trying to influence that election. So I just want to make very clear, we chose to not even interview those folks. It had nothing to do with their qualifications, but it had everything to do with the fact that they're already on the ballot in November. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. I guess, Mr. Chair, I just want to thank every person that did turn in a letter to us. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you.
It was a very, very difficult decision, and as Commissioner Payne said, it took us basically 3 days to make the determination.
And a lot of prayers.
Boy, that's absolutely for sure.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you very much. And with that, we will have the oath of office. Please do.
I want to thank the board. I understand how difficult and important this decision is. I appreciate your faith in me to fulfill what may seem like 4 months is a short period of time to fulfill this role, but even 4 minutes in the sheriff's office can be an unbelievable amount of time. So I appreciate that, and as this board knows, my belief in the oath cannot be questioned. So I will faithfully do everything I possibly can during this 4 months to fulfill that. So I want to thank everyone and this community for this opportunity to serve them again. So thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ty.
Ty, congratulations.
also would like to thank Ty's family. So parents Tim and Barbara, and especially wife Linda. We know what this will do to you as a family. You're probably not going to see him very much for the next 4 months. And I just want to share with you truly our deep appreciation for your willingness to allow Ty to return to the county for 4 more months. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. And I want to thank Megan for stepping up also. That's appreciate it. Thank you. And with that, we can move on to item number 3. If you guys want to clear the room out.
You don't have to, though.
You don't
He's not
have
kicking you out.
I'm not kicking you out, but
It sounded like you're telling him.
Who cares about policy? Yeah. He said he was going to ask her to stay to do it for her. She's already looking at going somewhere else in January. Yeah. And so she might be a short term too. We'll see. But I think she's going to stay on and help out. She is. And rumors.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
You're no Welsher.
That's right. That's right.
okay. Okay, we'll return to our agenda here for item number 3.
It's 10 o'clock. We have a public hearing.
Oh, there is a public hearing. Thank you very much for reminding me. We'll move into our public hearing then. It's a liquor license modification of premises, SSA Inc. Do we have Paul Marsley here? Come on up to the microphone, please.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so what are we trying to do here? You're doing a liquor license modification?
Yes.
Okay, it's up at the Royal Gorge?
Yes.
Okay. Let me find it here real quick.
It's under the other file. Information file.
It's in the W folder. W drive.
Okay. Sorry. Here we go.
Can you remind me to go back to-
Okay. So basically what you're trying to do is use the whole park as for a liquor license.
Yes,
Is that
correct.
correct? Okay. Do you have anything to say on that, or
I do not.
you do not?
I would just like to hear an explanation of what you want to do and why you want to do it, please.
Perfect. Okay, with us being sole provider of the liquor license, in order to enter the Royal Gorge Bridge Park, you have to pay the admissions. It's gated, so once you're in, you're basically in the park. There is no traffic over the bridge anymore. They eliminated all that. The only traffic that is on there is maintenance trucks, if needed, or a golf cart. So therefore, the safety of vehicles, I think, is pretty much taken away. And for people just to enjoy the park, the atmosphere, walk around with the beer if needed, and go from there.
Are you looking to have additional points of sale, or would you just leave the alcohol available where it currently is?
Where it currently is,
Okay.
yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a staff report on this?
Yeah, I mean, all the paperwork's in order for modification. The state of Colorado recommended that they do a hotel and restaurant on one side and a optional premise on the other side, excluding the bridge, but that was just their recommendation. And I don't know if you guys had talked with them any further. I don't know if you were the one that was involved with talking with the state of Colorado regarding that, but
No,
that
I
was
was
their
not.
recommendation. But as far as a modification goes, they've done all the necessary paperwork.
So is recommendation of a hotel on one side and what?
An optional premise on the other. So that would basically mean they could not cross the bridge with alcohol. They would need to include on the one side on their hotel and restaurant, they would have to outline the areas, which if they're wanting it to be the entire park on that side, they would encompass the entire park, somewhat similar to a hotel that has like a pool area or a patio. They would just include all of that. And then the optional premise, the same thing. They have to outline what their area is, similar to a golf course.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
But I believe the issue, though, is that's still technically a county road.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
The only other thing too was I noticed in the application, because you had said there was going to be no further traffic, was that they're going to be allowed to do Jeep tours. So I didn't know if that was still, if that was not part of it anymore.
Jeep tours is, but it's more towards the end of the day when they bring him in.
But they do cross the bridge?
Yes, correct.
So there is still traffic on that road.
Not during the day,
It's a
but
Jeep.
towards the end, yes, correct. by
And then
that
you
time,
also,
we're
you also
closed.
let car shows go on there, correct? Or old cars?
Yes, there has been, I think, 2 this summer so far. Yes. And who we are, SSA, Service System Associates, we are the Gorge leases out to us. We are the food and beverage for the
Okay.
park.
So the regulations in changing or altering or modifying a licensed premises, one of the things is that if there's a public thoroughfare, the other is if there's, or the inclusion of a public thoroughfare solely for the purpose of transporting alcohol. If that was the only thing, but there's still a public thoroughfare across that bridge.
Okay. I know I've talked to John Hamrick, who is on the city council. I've talked to John about this briefly, that maybe if the city would ask to vacate that to the city, from us to the city, that would probably solve this problem, if that would be a possibility. But I think, is that the only issue that we're talking about, is probably that is still technically a county road? Is that right?
For the most part.
For the most part?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's maybe it's not the only issue, but it is far and away the biggest issue that is a huge problem. I don't think it's legal for us to give an alcohol license for people to be on a county right-of-way road, no matter how often it is used or it is not used. We've had many conversations about this, and it seems to us as though probably the best way to resolve it would be for that to no longer be a county right-of-way, which would mean that the city or someone else would need to come to us with an application to dissolve that and to remove it.
Okay. This is a public hearing, so I will open up the public hearing. Does anybody in the public have anything to say on this, want to say anything? Going once, going twice. I will close the public hearing. Okay. All right. Any other issues on this that we want to discuss?
So I can clarify on the south side of the bridge, they're able to still walk around with their beer. They just cannot cross the bridge to come back over, correct?
The current licenses will remain as is.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And right now, we tell people that they can't walk the bridge
Walk
with
across.
alcohol now, so
Right.
we'll just have to put
If-
some signage up.
The regulations say the public thoroughfare has to be authorized solely for pedestrian and non-motorized traffic. And so as long as motorized traffic is allowed on the bridge and it's still a county road, the regulations don't allow licensing of that area. But all the licenses currently in place will remain in
Yes,
place.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Do your current licenses currently have the whole side? Because I think that you have several optional premises currently.
That's correct.
And they're all in their own little area.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
so
I
they
believe
can't
there's
leave-
like 6 of them.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
so those can't leave that specific outlined area. Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, yes.
Okay. This came before us, we'll still need to have, take action though, correct?
So, Mr. Chair, I would say that although I know what you're trying to do, I also have been many places that you can buy a beer somewhere and just walk the entire park with it. So I understand that. I understand your vision, but I feel truly, I believe that our hands are tied with state regulation and state statute the way that it is. I don't believe that we have the authority to allow alcohol to be on that bridge as a county road. And so, therefore, Mr. Chair, I move to deny the liquor license modification of premise for SSA Inc. But in doing so, I would urge that you perhaps take another look at the state's suggestion of having a hotel license on one side with the optional premises on the other side. Take a look at that, or perhaps at vacating the right-of-way.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good morning.
You
Sure.
as well.
Now we'll move on to item number 3, a proclamation for Kinship Care Month of Fremont County for the month of September 2018. I believe we have Barry Acton here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Before I read the proclamation this morning, and with the board's approval, I would like to highlight a new partnership we have entered into at the department called Care Portal. Care Portal brings the needs of children and family in our community to the attention of our local church community. Fremont County Department of Human Services child welfare caseworkers who work closely with each family uncover each family's needs. Care Portal helps local churches become aware of each family's need by giving them a timely, non-threatening invitation and opportunity to respond through the Care Portal website. Fremont County Department of Human Services is grateful to the 6 local churches that have graciously helped many local families and children through the Care Portal program. Currently, we have made 20 requests to our Care Portal partners, with 17 of those being met through our local church community, which accounts for over $1,500 in hard goods and services that have helped 17 kinship families in Fremont County. Care Portal is currently recruiting additional local churches that will help increase the supports for our families, as well as disperse our families' needs throughout a larger church community base. Care Portal is an invaluable community resource and partner for our community, the department, and most importantly, our families.
If I could just mention real briefly, Barry, I belong to one of those churches who works with Care Portal. So I'm signed up. I receive those emails. And interestingly, every time I see one and I go, I can help with that, and I click on Let Me Help, it's already been taken care of.
It's been an
So
awesome program for
I
us.
have been so impressed with our community and the way that folks are turning out to help with what is a real true need, because in some instances, this can make the difference over whether a child gets to stay with family in the community or is transported outside of our community and taken somewhere else for foster care. So
Yes, ma'am.
it's a wonderful program. Thank you for
your
bringing it
support.
up.
Yes, ma'am. Kinship Care Month in Fremont County, September 2018. Whereas Fremont County is proud to recognize the children along with their grandparents and other relatives who raise them in kinship care and who ensure their safety, promote their well-being, and establish a stable household for these young people to thrive. And whereas nationally 2.7 million children are living in kinship care with grandparents or other relatives, and more than 30 of these young people reside with the kinship provider on any given day in Fremont County. And whereas Fremont County residents join to honor grandparents and relatives residing in urban, rural, and suburban households in every county of Colorado who step forward out of love and loyalty to care for children during times in which biological parents are unable to do so. And whereas kinship care enables a child to maintain family relationships and cultural heritage and to remain in the community of the child. And whereas kinship care is a national resource that provides loving homes for children at risk. And whereas kinship caregivers face daunting challenges to keep countless children from entering foster care. And whereas Fremont County is proud to recognize the many kinship care families in which a child is raised by grandparents or other relatives. And whereas Fremont County wishes to honor the many kinship caregivers who throughout history have provided loving homes for children. And whereas National Kinship Month provides an opportunity to urge people in every state and county to join in recognizing and celebrating kinship caregiving families and the tradition of families to help raise children.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, with that, I move to approve the proclamation for Kinship Care Month and proclaim the month of September Kinship Care Month in Fremont County.
I will second that and just say a quick thank you to all of those at DHS who work within this program, but maybe even more so to the families of those children who do step forward and step up to take care of those kids so that they can remain in a loving home where they know the people in their community. So thank you all so much.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 4, ambulance licensing for Flight to Life ambulance. With us is Jill Filer. How's your battle with the skunk going on that's been going on for a week?
Not well. Not well at all.
Not well at all. Okay.
So this morning, Flight for Life Colorado is a service that we utilize in Colorado. They're known for their air ambulance support, but they have added an additional ambulance to their fleet that will service southern Colorado. So this ground ambulance will be stationed at St. Mary Corwin Hospital in Pueblo, but it will service in Fremont County. So I did an ambulance inspection for them and found them to be up to where they need to be in accordance with our regulations in Fremont County. So just like all other ambulances that come into our county, they need an ambulance license as well. They will not be replacing any ambulance services or running 911 calls in Fremont County. They will strictly serve as an inter-facility transport ambulance and help service when the helicopter cannot fly. So this is a great opportunity for Fremont County to have that advanced life support in a different form.
Are they licensed in Pueblo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think this is great because I know here not too long ago in Penrose we had a real bad accident, and the Flight for Life, I believe there was 2 different companies there, but they still had to transport people, so that this will kind of add to that. Hopefully that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen.
It will, and they have the advanced life support, which is a little bit different than the normal staffing. So normal ambulances normally have a paramedic and an EMT. Flight for Life's ambulance will have an EMT most likely driving, and then they will have a paramedic and a registered nurse. So they'll be a much more advanced life care support that will service Fremont County for us.
Okay. Having just been on one of those lovely flights last May, I thought the cocktail service was a little lacking, but other than that, they did pretty good.
Oh, you had a cocktail. You just don't know what it was.
Okay. All right. Any other further talk on this? A motion?
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay. Jill, thanks so much for taking care of this and doing this. I think that they know what they're talking about, and I think this is a really great idea. So I move to approve ALS 18-6, which is an advanced life support ambulance for Flight for Life here in Fremont County.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, next move on a resolution. It's a proposal and a resolution certifying and referring to the November 2018 ballot, a proposal to authorize the County of Fremont to provide high-speed internet service, which is advanced services, telecommunication service, and or cable television in accordance with and as permitted by, imagine that's CRS 29-27-101-2304. Okay, we had discussion on this a couple of meetings ago. I believe, John, you spoke on this, and the city council has approved this also. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me find it.
I don't think we need to read this necessarily, just discuss it.
Just discuss it. Okay. Yeah. Don't need all the whereases.
This is just the resolution putting it on the ballot.
Right.
The discussion on the issue was already
It was already done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you would like, Mr. Chair, it might be appropriate to actually read the question as it will be on the ballot.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you very much. Found it. Shall the County of Fremont, without increasing taxes, be authorized to provide high-speed internet services, advanced services, telecommunication services, and or cable television services to residents, businesses, schools, libraries, nonprofit entities, and other users of such services, either directly or indirectly with public or private sector partners as expressly permitted by 29-27-101-304, Competition in Utility and Entertainment Services of the Colorado Revised Statutes. Okay.
I think the important part is there without raising taxes.
That is the important part.
That is the
So
important one.
this will just open that up where there's not near the regulation on it. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 31, which is a proposal resolution clarifying and referring to the November 2018 ballot for authorization of Fremont County to provide high-speed internet services.
I'll second that with a couple of quick notes. First of all, what this does is it takes control back to the counties that was taken away from the counties in 2005, and it puts it into the hands of our local taxpayers. And we think that local control is always a good thing. I also would note, Mr. Chair, that Florence also has jumped on this, and they will put their own issue on the ballot in November, as well as Canyon City. So thank you very much to both of the city councils for taking care of that.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, approval and adoption of the Code Enforcement Policy Manual. With us is our 3 code enforcement officers.
And you guys thought all those people were here because of you, didn't you?
Yeah, they were hoping not.
Would you like to read it
Yeah,
out?
you want to read it? Here's a copy.
We put together a quick PowerPoint just to try to hit the highlights on
Okay.
what our policy and procedures is going to reflect. One of the things, as the newest code enforcement guy here, there's a lot that we do, but it's more practice. That's how we've always done it, and it's proven itself to work. So part of what prompted some of this is probably yours truly, although, because I kept saying, why is it we can do this? Or where does it say I can do this? And so we really felt that it was time to have a written policy in place. It allows us to have, and we can go ahead and start going through the, whoever's controlling that.
Matt is.
Matt. Man in charge. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is probably the most important slide here. It talks about us being able to be consistent. Our policy is trying to establish a consistent process by which we deal with violations, complaints, and different issues that come to our attention. It gives us a uniform process. It gives us the opportunity to be equal. Really important piece of this. And in that, policy also addresses how each and every case is going to have just a little different personality. You have different players in it, you have different situations, different locations. It really ends up being kind of a, let's sit and talk about this, and that included how are we going to try to get to the end game on this, where we need to be. So this gives us, this policy outlines all of this to give us the ability to individualize how we proceed with a given case. It gives us a timeliness factor that gives us a better handle on taking a complaint and moving through to completion. And probably the biggest thing is transparency. This has come, especially to my attention, being kind of fresh eyes in the that a lot of folks don't know what they don't know. And one of those things is how the world's code enforcement work. So this gives the public an opportunity, our end users, our true bosses, the opportunity to have this as a policy they can read and say, oh, now I understand. You're just not going to come out here and write a ticket and it goes to prosecution. And that seems to be a general understanding from a lot of folks. They say, why aren't you out there writing a ticket? Well, because that's not quite how the process works. So this gives us an opportunity for that to be in writing in front of folks so we can see that. The priorities, this lines it all out pretty well. And we've got a huge county, as everyone in this room is aware of. It talks about the deliberate nature of what is going on. If it's a deliberate violation, and it gives us a deliberate nature as well as how we're going to move forward with it. The economic benefit. We constantly are weighing out what's the best way to handle a situation. Do we just move right into cleaning it up through prosecution? I think Brandon would probably throw something at us if we started doing that.
They'd need to hire 4 more lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a whole bunch more code enforcement officers too. So we constantly weigh out how's the best way to do this and utilize our resources as a county and as our Helping Hands program to best accomplish the result, and that is voluntary compliance on the plan. The history of complaints and violations is a huge piece that we have to refer back to the cross-reference cases that go back through the years.
Keep it up, is what I'm hearing.
Ultimately, the adoption of the policy manual will increase transparency, consistency within our office, uniformity, equality, and timeliness overall, dealing with all land use violations that we have, and then details, outlines, procedures that are followed for enforcement. So it holds us to a standard as well.
Okay. I believe, echoing what you guys have just said, that's what we were looking for, is consistency. That was the main thing, and I know Mr. Sapp and I have had several conversations on this about you guys aren't confused what we're looking for, and it's written out, and I think it'll be more better. So there we go.
So I think it also gives a guideline to the folks out there that do see some of these problems, as we all do as we're driving around, but at least now we have a reference to go back to, and I think the consistency part of it is going to be a huge benefit to all of us. So thank you guys for putting in the work on this.
Okay.
I would like to say one thing about that. The policy and procedure that we have, we've actually been doing for the last 15 years that I've been here. It's just now on paper. We show that the program does work. Voluntary compliance is a mandate the commissioners gave us. We will continue to do that. Unfortunately, sometimes when it gets to the point where we can't do that, then it has to be prepared for. I'm honestly to say that we wouldn't take that many.
It's true.
It's good. There's some resolve there then. That's good.
Sure. It just takes us a little while to get done.
Sure.
I also would like to say, first of all, just thank you so much for going through this, but thank you maybe to Fred for those questions of but why. Because in my world, because we've always done it like this is not an answer. So I really appreciate all the time and trouble that has gone into creating this written document, not only for clarification of all of you, if you ever have a question or if we should add another member to your group, but also, as already has been mentioned, to the public. I would like to say this policy will go online so that folks can go to fremontco.com to download it, take a look and see what it says. And for me, maybe one of the most important pieces of this that we had a lot of conversation about was the communications back and forth with the reporting parties to let them know what is happening, what has happened, and whatever the resolution of their complaint was. So I just want to say thank you all so much for that. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve and adopt the Fremont County Code Enforcement Policy Manual.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we moved to the last item on the agenda, appointing a new member to the Fremont County Tourism Council to fill a vacant position with a term ending December 31st, 2018. Okay.
So we had a member of the Fremont County Tourism Council who resigned her position to take a full-time job. She wouldn't have time to do it, so that left an opening. We did have two candidates file letters of interest. Those two candidates' letters went to the Fremont County Tourism Council, who had a special meeting and reviewed both of those. And upon their recommendation, Mr. Chair, I move to appoint a new member, Heidi Anderson, to the Fremont County Tourism Council to fill a vacant position, term ending December 31st, 2018.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and with no further business coming before the board, we are adjourned.
So I'm glad you nodded your head yes, Beth, or I would have had to stumble in.
Language and grammar is so important to me. Probably two letters, so, but.
Okay, so yeah, see, so I pinned it to the front deal right there. I did it.
You did what?
I didn't use it, but I did it.